Namanda, 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 Namanda. Good morning, everyone. I hope all of you are doing well, staying healthy, and I know that this is still very difficult times. We still find ourselves sheltering in place, but I want to thank all of you who are joining us this morning for our weekly Sunday live streaming service. I do want to mention that we are joined by our friends in Watsonville, in Monterey, and in Salinas joining us today for our service. And I do want to remind those in Monterey that today's service is we're observing the Shotsuki Hoyo for the month of May. So I hope all of you have your butsudans open. I hope you have lit a candle and have some incense burning as you join us for today's Sunday service. And let me also wish all of you a happy Mother's Day. I'd like to begin with an opening reading. If you'll please join me in Gassho. Your suffering is my suffering, and your happiness is my happiness. Just as a mother always loves her child, the child does not forget that spirit for even a single moment, for it is the nature of Buddhahood to be compassionate. Namo Amida Butsu, 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 Namo Amida Butsu. And I want to remind everyone that our sutra book is available online in a PDF form, and you can join us and follow along in the sutra chanting and the readings. So I'm going to begin today's service with the chanting of the Sambujo that you'll find on page 24 of the large purple service book, and then the Sambutsuge on page 79.
Nammandavas, 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 Nammandavas.
Thank you very much. And now, on page 10, I'd like to ask you to join me in the reading of the Threefold Refuge. Difficult is it to receive a human form, now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the Dharma of the Buddha, now we hear it. If we do not cross over to the truth in the present life, in what life shall we cross over? Let us with sincerity and true reverence take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in the Buddha. May we, together with all sentient beings, awaken to the great way of enlightenment and to the unsurpassed intent of Amida Buddha. I take refuge in the Dharma. May we, together with all sentient beings, enter the storehouse of the Dharma, becoming like the wisdom ocean. I take refuge in the Sangha. May we, together with all sentient beings, become units in true accord in harmony with all things. The peerless, profound, and wondrous Dharma is rare to encounter, even in many hundreds of thousands of kalpas. Now we are privileged to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of the Tathagata's teaching. Nammandavas, Nammandavas, Nammandavas. Sankyamon, Rinjen Kigatashi, Ima Sudeni Yuku, Puppo Kikigatashi, Ima Sudeni Kiku, この御根性向かってどうせずんば、さらにいずれの章に向かってか、この身を同せ大衆もろともに、指針に参謀に消えし立てまつるべし。自ら仏に消えし立てまつる。まさに願わくは修行とともに、大道を体現して無常よ降参。自ら法に消えし立てまつる。まさに願わくは修行とともに、深く教蔵に入りて知恵海のごとくならん。自らそうに消えし立てまつる。まさに願わくは修行とともに、大衆を通りして一切無限ならん。無常人人未妙の法は約千万語にもあゆことかたし、俺今検問し従事することあたり、願わくは柳の真実義を下し立てまつらん。何万ダブス、何万ダブス、何万ダブス、何万ダブス、何万ダブス、何万ダブス。Thank you very much. Once again, I want to say good morning to everyone, and again, hope that you're doing well. As everyone is aware, today is Mother's Day, and this is celebrated once a year, although we should be celebrating our mothers every day. Every day should be Mother's Day. And Mother's Day today reminds us that our life is sustained by others. Our life is not just our own, but we are able to live and exist because of so many others. Now, I shouldn't have to tell you this. This is something that you should all know. You should think about your mothers today, whether living or not with us any longer. No matter how old you are, no matter how young you are, you should understand and you should know the love of a mother. Another term that's used to describe mother's love is the promise of my life, the promise of your life. And as I talk today, I want you to remember this term, the promise of your life. Many years ago, I lived in San Francisco, and I would every once in a while have the opportunity to take the trolley car, the cable car, down from my home in the Richmond district to downtown San Francisco. And one afternoon, I was riding the trolley car when someone yelled out, and they yelled out, "Hey, driver, an old bag fell off the car." So the trolley driver puts on the brake, stops the car, and he yells back at the guy who's on the other end of the car, "Well, get out and help her up." And he says, "No, it's an old bag." And the driver says, "Yes, I understand. Go help her and get her back on the car." Well, the man on the other side of the car, an actual bag had dropped off the car. The driver thought when he heard the term old bag, he was talking about a woman that had fallen off the car, when in truth, it was just a bag that had fallen off. So this incident reminded me of the Japanese term ofukudo. Okay, this is the Japanese for ofukudo. Before, some 300 years ago, before we had what we know as furoshiki, and you can see one that's hanging up here next to our butsudan, this furoshiki was used to wrap things up. But before the furoshiki, some 300 years ago, people used cloth bags. They were made of different materials, but they used these bags to transfer, to move their items. And it was very important because it held all the family treasures. And who was responsible for that bag? The woman of the house was responsible for that bag. So the woman of the home was in charge of all the things, the most valuable goods of the home. It was a great honor and a great responsibility to be in charge of these bags. So young women were not in charge. It was the elderly women. And it was the younger women weren't able to do that or be in charge of the bags until they really understood what was valuable, understood the customs and the traditions of their family. So to control that bag was to manage the household. That's what it represented, to manage all the family treasures. So it was a position of honor. It was a position of respect. So out of honor and respect, the mother was called ofukudo. Now, 300 years later, the English term that came from this ofukudo, old bag, has a negative kind of sound to it. And to say old bag is not very polite. And so we don't hear that anymore. But historically, women were held in high esteem. The woman held the position. She controlled the finances, all the family affairs. Now, 300 years ago, men's lifespan was much shorter, and women lived much longer. So they held that position of responsibility. So not an old bag, but an honorific position of responsibility. Now the second term that some of you may have heard, some of you may not have heard, is another Japanese term. It is said right there. Okay? Oya baka. Oya baka. Now, oya means parent. Okay? This first character means parent. And then baka, as many of my generation know, means foolish or stupid. So it's not meant to be taken literally as a stupid parent. Now, I want to point out something about this character here, this Oya character especially. It's made of 3 parts. The first part is tate, or to stand. The second part is ki, which is a tree. And the last part is miru, to see or to watch. So Oya, or the term parent, means someone who is standing on top of a tree and watching. So they are seeing everything. They have a view from up high and are watching everything. And this is our parent. So Oyabaka is not meant literally as a stupid parent, but is the same as what I was mentioning earlier, a promise of life, a promise of our life. So a mother's love is equal to this promise of life. Our mothers, they give us life. Not only do they give us life, but once we're born into this world, they feed us. They feed us wonderful meals, healthy food. You know, we talk about comfort food. Comfort food means it's dishes that our mother made that bring us back to that warmth and the love and the care of a mother. Our mothers clothe us, keep us warm. They make us go to school so that we will learn. And a mother doesn't rest until she knows that we are safe. They will stay up all night waiting until they know that we are safe. And a mother will sacrifice her own happiness for her children. She will even give up careers for her own children. So mothers will do anything for their children. That's where this term Oyabaka comes from. Because they are not stupid, but they've promised, and they put everything aside for themselves, for our benefit. So really, as Buddhists, to understand what we call cause and condition is to understand these 2 words, Oyabaka, Ofukudo. And to understand cause and condition means that we will, today especially, is to understand the devotion and the love of our parents, and especially today our mothers, who we're honoring. So these 2 words, Oyabaka or Fukuro, are old Japanese terms, but they have a history. They have a foundation from which they come. And these 2 words are testimony to the greatness of motherhood. So today I want to say Happy Mother's Day to all of you mothers, and thank you for all that you've done for your children and for those who are you've treated as your children as well. It is truly a wonderful day that we can celebrate and honor you today. Thank you very much. Please join me in Gasho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. And now I'd like to ask you to please turn to page 220 of the large purple service book for the Gatha Ondokusan 2. Not working. Sorry. Why am I getting feedback? It's connected to the iPad. Okay. Sorry about that. So I'll go ahead and with Ondok-san 2. Yorai nai no ondoku wa miyoko ni shite mo ozu beshi shishu chishiki no ondoku mo hone o kudakite mo shasu beshi. Thank you very much for suffering through that moment. I'd like to make a couple of announcements before we close with closing reading. Next week we will also have our May 17th live streaming service. This will be Salinas' Shotsuki Hoyo service. May 14th Monterey board meeting will be a Zoom meeting. And remind everybody, and of course I'm sure you're aware of this, that May 15th we had scheduled a Tri-Temple social. That is, of course, is canceled. And hopefully we'll be able to reschedule something again in the near future. Please join me in Gasho. I rely on Amida Buddha with my whole heart for the attainment of nirvana. I give up trust in my powerless self and abandon all practices that rely on the false ego. I know that because of Amida's boundless compassion, I am assured of rebirth at the very moment I put my trust in Amida. I call the name Namo Amida Butsu in happiness and thanksgiving for the gift of the universal vow. I am grateful for Shinran Shonin and his followers for leading me to this profound teaching. I will try to live throughout my life according to the way of Nembutsu that they have taught. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us this morning. This will conclude our Sunday morning live streaming service. Thank you.